Guten Tag, Mesmi. Wie geht's immer, Dieter? Ich bin Dieter. Yeah, Dieter's going to give you the ultimate nylon guitar buying guide for 2024. And he's going to bring back German Dieter, because we haven't seen German Dieter in a long time. Yeah, that's why I'm wearing my red scarf, German Dieter. And for all you guys and girls, don't disrespect us old people, because when I was looking for my guitars, I found this old picture. See, this was Dieter when he was about, I guess I was about, I'm going to say 36 or 40 when this was taken. Judging from where it was, that I think it would have been around 1998 or 2000. See? That's Dieter. Dieter was young once, okay? Dieter was young once. It's my friend Karen, very nice girl, lady now. So, remember that, okay? We were all young, young once. So don't disrespect your elders, young people. So anyway, Dieter hasn't smoked his cigar either for a while, so. Now, Dieter always says, forget the name, and that's true. But, I have my own biases. It's true. There are guitars that I wanted to like, but I didn't. And I have honestly always bought guitars with my eyes closed. So, what's the perfect... Okay, so you can't buy 5 guitars, okay? Let's say you can't. Because Dieter said the perfect nylon guitar is 5 guitars. And he'll do the same thing with steel strings, too. So you have to be realistic and honest with yourself. Forget about what your friends say, unless they know what they're talking about. And they have your best. Do they have your best interests at heart, right? That's what you have to. That's why our Dieter always says, forget the name, forget it. You go to as many, and this is what you do. You go to as many different places as you can, and you try out as many different guitars as you can. You're always better off to do that. So don't be lazy and think, I'm going to get this over the internet. Now, I told you before in some of my videos, let your ears and your hands decide, and your body type. Those 3 things, that's what you have to decide. So, if I was starting out, or I had a son or daughter that wanted to start out, I would first introduce them to a triple O, which is if they're not tiny people, an auditorium-style classical guitar, or a parlor guitar. So this is a parlor guitar. They're big enough, but they're not overwhelming, and I would introduce them, and I strongly suggest that you start out on a classical 2-inch guitar, because go big or go home, because once you've... You get a beautiful tone out of a parlor guitar. I get really upset when I see these guys put videos of parlor guitars poo-poo. No, they're great. And so I would be like this. Okay, give me all your parlor guitars, let me play them. So that would be my first choice if you're starting out and you're not a big guy like me, or you're buying it for a son or daughter. Nylon parlor guitar, full scale, non-cutaway I would get, and or an auditorium style size. So. And here's our captive audience. It's a girl playing guitar. I'll show you her so you don't get to see my plumber's crack by accident, which won't happen anyway. So there you go. That's better than looking at Dita's fat ass. All right, so we're back. So that's what I would do for a beginner. Now, if depending on what style you eventually want to play, if you think you're going to play, graduate to electric guitars, I would still start on a classical guitar. So if I was considering eventually want to play electric, I'd get a classical cutaway. So you have access to the higher frets. That's what I would do. This is a nice Western red cedar top, and it's mahogany back and sides. Mahogany will sound a little different. Most of the sound is in the top, but the guitar will sound more different if the top is cedar as opposed to spruce. Both are really good. I personally would not buy a mahogany or a fancy looking koa top because they don't have the tonal range and the nuances and the vibratory beauty of cedar and spruce. And that's just the way it is. You can disagree with me, but you're wrong. All right? So there. So yeah, I would go with something like this. And again, you close your eyes and you play and listen. You close your eyes and you feel it out. You close your eyes and you play and listen. And you feel the vibration in your bones. Yeah, so try out all the full-size cutaways you can. So there, and then there's one other thing I would look at. All right, so let's go back to our pretty girl playing guitar. Right. Yes, Dita's coming back. Amazing me. So, yeah. So now, I showed you my nice Alhambra, a cutaway. So if my end game was to be a true classical guitarist, I would buy a classical guitar. Full-bodied, non-cutaway classical guitar. And I would probably, this one is a rosewood back and sides, I would probably go for a rosewood back and sides. So I'm not going to show you my Alhambra cutaway because you've seen that in other videos, but that one is a beautiful guitar as well. So, nylons tend to be a little fussy to get tuned in right, especially when your humidity changes. So according to German data, ja, das ist was German data was say, mes amis, ja. Okay, you close your eyes, and those are the three guitars Dieter would recommend. If you can only buy one, buy a nylon. All right, men look good with nylon guitars, I think. Buy a nylon. If you want a smaller one, get a parlor. Don't get a GS Mini or something, and it's got nothing to do against Taylor, but in my experience, everyone who starts with a small guitar has way more difficulty going up than going down. And that's why a lot of people that learn on electrics and small guitars with small 1 11/16 nuts have difficulty. You don't, for some reason, it doesn't seem to be as difficult to go from big to small. I mean, I have electrics. I don't particularly like them as much as I probably should because I have big hands, but I can play them. And I told you, in an ideal world, all my electrics would have 1.8 inch width necks. I don't know if I'd need 2, but 1.8 I think would be good, right? I have trouble with 1 11/16. So know what kind of music you want to play, but start with a nylon string guitar. It's the mother of them all. It really is. They're often overlooked, and you can play any kind of music on them. She's got a nylon string guitar. And I guarantee you, if I was as good looking as her or some of her friends, I'd be getting a lot more views, and I'd probably be selling nylon string guitars, but I'm not monetized. But I just think I taught myself how to play on a nylon string guitar, and I'm glad I did. And now that I'm older, I reach first for my nylon string guitars, and I love all my guitars. I love the sound of a nylon string guitar, especially with a good pickup plugged into a good amplifier. It just has a different quality. And if you can afford more, do it. But those are the three I would look for. So a full-size classical, if I want to be, if I just wanted to be, if I started and I wanted to be a really good guitar player, that's what I would buy. Or a parlor if I was a smaller person, non-cutaway. And if I already wanted to play kind of like higher up the neck, more modern music, I'd buy a full-sized classical cutaway. So there you go. Those are the three nylons Dieter would wear. So what will you wear? But whatever you wear, do yourself a favor. Close your eyes when you try these out, and really listen and really feel with your hand how that neck feels to you, and whatever. And there are minor things that can be done. I always find this funny when people complain, "Oh, I like everything about it, but the shape of the neck." Well, if the neck isn't too small, you can reshape the neck with a cabinet scraper, and you can actually take a $300 to even a $5,000 guitar and still customize it to fit you. And I don't know why guitar players seem to be afraid of doing that. You get guitar players, I call them collectors, I don't really call them players, that buy these things, and they freak out now if they got a nick or a scratch now. And now these retards, and I'll call them retards because they go the opposite end of the extreme. Now it's cool, I guess, if you're a rich doctor or a lawyer, to have something that looks like you've played it for 50 years when you just hang it in you buy your $10,000 guitar to hang it in your rec room and brag about it when your friends come over for your $3,000 an hour liquid lunch parties. Well, good for you. not my cup of tea. Happy plucking, Mesme, and I hope that helps.